What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 209 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my bedroom, and today I'm giving you all the Week 15 picks around the NFL. I'm sorry for the late upload. I've been dealing with a sickness all week, so if you hear me cough or stutter in this video, my apologies in advance, but the show must go on. So last week was 6-8 record with the picks. Absolutely awful, putrid, vulgar, whatever you want to describe it. It was just very bad. So this week, fingers crossed, let's do better, and we're going to do better. And we'll start with Thursday's game. The Chargers take on the Raiders. So the division rivals meet for the second time. Chargers won the battle earlier, and this time, though, no Herbert or Keenan Allen for the Chargers. Easton Stick will be the QB, and with Herbert, the offense is really bad, so I can't imagine what it's going to look like even without him. And I just say the Raiders are going to take advantage of the Chargers' injuries and win a close one, 24-20. Next, we move on to the Saturday games. Yes, we have Saturday football. I'm so excited for it. It's the best. This is the best time of year because we get Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday football. So I'm excited for it. We'll do the first game. The Vikings take on the Bengals. So the battle of two teams that are 7-6. Both have backup quarterbacks. The Vikings are starting Nick Mullins. The Bengals got Jake Browning. And this should be an interesting game. The wide receiver for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, is good to go. He's returned from injury. And the Vikings can't afford to put up 3 points like they did last week, especially against this Bengals team who has been balling out. I think it'll come down to who has the better defense. Minnesota's defense is pretty underrated, but I give a slight edge to the Cincinnati defense. And who do you trust more between Nick Mullins and Jake Browning? I'm going to side with Jake Browning because he's shown us what he's got, so I'm going to pick the Bengals here 27-17. The next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. So another battle of two 7-6 teams, both coming off of losses last week. Both desperately need to win to secure their playoff spot in the AFC. Both offenses have their backup quarterbacks, and they continue to struggle. And I don't know which offense is better. I will say Gardner Minshew is better than Mitch Trubisky, and I give a slight advantage in the run game to the Steelers, but both do have very solid defenses, and this game is just so hard to pick. It's 50-50 and evenly matched. I'll go with the Steelers, though, because I don't see Mike Tomlin losing 3 straight games, so I'm going to pick them to win 24-21. The final Saturday game, the Broncos taking on the Lions, so this is going to be a good one, an intense one, I must say, and two very good teams will take the field. The Broncos have been playing better than the Lions as of recent. The Broncos aren't turning the ball over on offense like the Lions are. And the Broncos have a great defense while the Lions do not. And the Lions can most certainly win here. They just need Jared Goff to protect the ball and play better. If he doesn't, Denver's going to make him pay. I got the Broncos winning 31-27. On to the Sunday games, we have the Giants taking on the Saints. So both teams are fighting for a wild card spot in the NFC. Except the Saints have more to play for. They could still take first place in their respective division in the NFC South. And it won't be easy for the Saints, though, because they're facing a Giants team who's red hot right now. They won 3 straight. The rookie quarterback, Tommy DeVito, gave his team new life. And their defense has been playing pretty well, too. Tommy DeVito has to be flawless in this game, though. He's facing a talented and physical Saints defense on the road. And can the Italian-American Tommy DeVito, living out of his mother's basement in Jersey, who's living his dream right now, make it 4 wins in the row for the Giants? We'll see. We'll see if he could potentially bring them to a wild card push, and it's going to be interesting. As for the Saints, Derek Carr has to be perfect. He can't get sloppy and turn the ball over. They have to feed Alvin Kamara in the run game. And the Saints at home, I'm going to pick them to win 18-14. Next, the Bears take on the Browns. So the Bears are coming off of a huge win versus the Lions last week. And this time they'll be on the road, though, facing a defense that's light years ahead of the Lions defense. Justin Fields has been balling out, though. He knows his time as a Bear may be coming to an end after this season, and he's got nothing to lose. And a man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. The Bears have a chance if Fields and the run game and defense continue to play like they have been playing recently. But the Browns with Joe Flacco look absolutely scary. The 38-year-old quarterback signed off the streets just a couple weeks ago is showing us that he's still got plenty of gas in the tank, provided a new spark for this Browns offense. And after all, he is a former Super Bowl MVP, So he's seen it all in this league. As for the Browns defense, they're just on another level. I think they're going to get to Justin Fields, create a couple turnovers, and basically win them the game. The Browns are just better all around, so I got them winning 21-16. Next, the Falcons take on the Panthers. So this will be the first time that two NFC South rivals meet. The Falcons have a lot to play for. A win can land them back in first in their division, but a loss can throw a huge wrench inside of their season. And if Desmond Ridder is reckless with the ball like he has been, then the Falcons can get upset. But if he's careful with the ball, they establish the run, then they'll sail to a W. And I already know the Falcons defense is going to show up ready to play. It just comes down to the offense. As for the Panthers, they have nothing to play for at this point except giving their young rookie quarterback more time to play and observe how he does at the end of the season. Out of all of the negatives, though, the Panthers have a very good run game, and Atlanta's defense better be ready to stop it. I'm going to go with the Falcons to win this one in a close one, 23-17. Next is the Bucs taking on the Packers. So should be better than we expect. Two 6-7 teams square off to fight for their playoff lives. Bucs are currently number one in the NFC South and need a win to stay on top. The Packers are currently the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture, and they need a win to secure their spot into the playoffs as well. And a loss can knock them back into the hunt section, and they don't want that to happen. The Bucs do have a lot of momentum, though. They've won 3 straight, and the Packers were on a 3-game win streak until the Giants rained on their parade last week. The Bucs got to stick with the formula they've been using, though. Make sure Baker avoids turning the ball over. Stick to the run game as well. That's been doing really well. And the Bucs defense, they're not elite, but they're not trash either. I think that they'll make some plays in this game. And as for Jordan Love, he stunk last week. But, in the previous weeks, he was killing it. And if the Jordan Love from the last 3 games shows up, the Packers definitely have a chance. And the defense also has to be better, too. They got to get to Baker early. And playing at home is a big benefit for them. But I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to win 23-21. Next, the Jets take on the Dolphins. 2 AFC East teams meet again. The Finns absolutely washed them on Black Friday, and that was when the Jets had a quarterback, Tim Boyle, in. Now Zach Wilson's back as QB1, and like Justin Fields, Zach Wilson has nothing to lose, and like I said, a man with nothing to lose becomes a dangerous man. And we saw it on display last week when he had a huge game against the Texans in an upset win. And we already know the Jets defense is going to show up, but can the offense have their back and have a repeat of last week? The Dolphins got absolutely embarrassed last week. They had the game in their fingertips and let it slip away. They blew a 14-point lead in the final minutes against an inferior opponent. And if Tyreek Hill doesn't play in this game, because if he's still shaken up, then this is going to set up perfectly for the Jets, because Tua turns into a pumpkin when he doesn't have Hill on the field, and he'll fold against the Jets defense. However, if Tyreek is good to go, it's a whole different ballgame. But I got the Dolphins winning a close one, 26-21. The next game, the Chiefs take on the Patriots. So the Chiefs are coming off of 2 tough losses, and they head into Foxborough on the road. The Patriots have nothing to play for except pride, and I'm sure they don't mind playing spoiler into the Chiefs parade. No one expected them to beat the Steelers last week, but they did. And the Steelers obviously aren't in the same breath as the Chiefs, but pretty much all of us expected an easy win for the Steelers, but we can't expect an easy win right now for the Chiefs, especially with the way they've been playing. The Patriots will be on 10 days rest since they played last Thursday, but I doubt it matters since they're going to be playing a pissed-off Chiefs team ready to bounce back, so I got the Chiefs 34-10. Next, the Texans take on the Titans. So the first meeting between 2 AFC South rivals. Texans had a tough loss last week. They got blown out, and Tennessee had a great comeback win against a good team. Titans basically have nothing to play for. Meanwhile, the Texans have everything to play for, such as a playoff spot and possibly a first-place spot in the AFC South. C.J. Stroud did enter concussion protocol last week. I'm not sure his update, but he might be ready to go, which I think he will be because he knows what's at stake. And if he plays, it's going to be a rough day for the Tennessee secondary. However, I'm sure the Titans would love to play a spoiler against a division rival. And if the run game with Henry takes off and Will Levis from Monday night shows up, then the Texans are in a lot of trouble. But I do trust C.J. Stroud to bounce back. He's a rookie with veteran poise. He'll shake off last week's beatdown, and he's going to bounce back this week. So give me the Texans 31-20. Next, the Niners take on the Cardinals. So second meeting between two NFC West rivals, and the Niners won the first match between them. The Niners are absolutely rolling right now. I don't know how the Cardinals are going to stop them. The only way is if Kyler Murray plays out of his mind along with the defense. And I don't see the defense slowing down that elite offense of San Francisco. I can't see it happening, but I do see the Niners crushing them and cruising to their sixth straight win by the score of 37-14. Next, the Commanders take on the Rams. So the Commanders be coming off their bye, but they've been so bad. They get blown out constantly. Meanwhile, the Rams, they went toe-to-toe with the Ravens on the road last week and lost in overtime. The Rams wide receivers are going to feast on that Commanders secondary. So if you're in the fantasy playoffs right now and you have Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua, I'm sure you're licking your lips right now. Give me the Rams to win 38-23. Next, the Cowboys take on the Bills. So this is a potential game of the week. The Cowboys are balling right now. There's no denying it. And although the Bills have been up and down, you still got to respect them, especially after they beat the Chiefs last week on the road. That had to have been a huge boost in their confidence because they need this win more than the Cowboys do to continue to fight for their playoff lives. And it'll most likely be cold up there in Buffalo. And as a Cowboys fan, I'll tell you right now that the Cowboys aren't really a good team when they play outside. But the Cowboys have to establish the run and avoid turnovers if they want to win this game, especially in a cold environment. And the defense must be on point. They got to contain Josh Allen and can't let him run wild. I expect a close, competitive, and contested game. So I'm going to go, obviously, 20-17 for my Cowboys getting the win. You guys already know the deal. Never pick against them and never will. Next, the Ravens take on the Jaguars. So, exciting matchup between two solid AFC teams. The Ravens have been great lately while the Jags have struggled. The Jags need this win more than the Ravens because if the Jags lose and if the Texans and Colts win, then that could send the Jags to a wild card spot and then knock them out of first place in the AFC South. Trevor Lawrence must play his best football. If he has another 3-interception game like last week, it's going to be over for them very fast. And their defense needs to step up too. They've been terrible lately. And they got to be able to stop the run and stop the pass. But I think the Ravens are going to run the ball down the Jacksonville defense's throat. And even if they can't run, they can dice them up in the pass game too. The Ravens defense did struggle last week, but I see them bouncing back in this game. So give me the Ravens 30-24. The final game is the Monday night game. The Eagles take on the Seahawks. So both teams have been struggling lately. The Eagles can't afford a third straight loss, but Seattle can't afford a fifth straight loss, especially because they're still in the playoff contention in the NFC. And the advantage for the Seahawks is that they're playing at home where they're a much better team. It's where they thrive. Also, the Eagles haven't beaten the Seahawks in 15 years. The Seahawks have a path to victory, and that's going to be airing it out against an awful Eagles secondary. And the defense needs to create turnovers as well for the Seahawks. It's not going to be easy doing that, though, against a pissed-off Eagles team who's coming off of back-to-back blowout losses. But I have faith in the Seahawks of getting the job done. As a Cowboys fan, I need the Seahawks. I'm praying that the Seahawks can win. So give me the Seahawks 28-26. So that's it for the week 15 picks. Before I go, the bye weeks, there's no more bye weeks for the rest of the season. My lock of the week is the Falcons over the Panthers, and my upset is the Broncos over the Lions. So let me know what you guys think of my picks. Give me some feedback. Remember to like and follow this page. Remember to follow my Instagram down below. And let's enjoy some football. We got 4 days of football this week, so football gods are blessing us. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful night.